All right, welcome back to Mrs. Hauk's Crash Course here in expressions. Just a little quick review here. We've talked about expressions here with addition. Write an expression to show W increased by 4. And we've talked about expressions that show subtraction. Write an expression to show, here's the trick one, 3 less than P. So I like to write 3 less than P. And yesterday we talked about multiplication. Find the product of 12AB times 3CD. 12 times 3, 36. It's our coefficient. And then, of course, we put our variables in ABC order. Well, today we're obviously going to move on to something called division. We're going to look at division expressions. And in order to find the division, or when you find the division, sometimes we use this special word, and it is called quotient. Quotient. When you see that word quotient, that means we're going to be doing a division problem. All right, let's get our math books out, and we're going to jump to lesson 13 today. All right, so lesson 13, it says we're going to write division expressions. Example 1 says write an expression showing 1 divided by 2 without the division symbol. And this is our division symbol. We're going to make a little model here. I'm going to take one box. And, of course, if I divide it in 2, what's left? I have a half. So I basically took one box, divided it by 2, and that is the same as this, 1 divided by 2. Write an expression showing A divided by 2. Well, I'm going to kind of make the same picture. Here's my A. I don't know how long A is, but obviously if I cut it into 2 pieces, I have 1 piece out of the 2. So I would write my problem. I took A, I divided it by 2, and today we're going to learn that A divided by 2 can also be written as a fraction, like this. When we write division expressions using the divisor symbol, what are we representing? Well, we are taking the, what's this called? This is called the dividend. And we are dividing it by the, and this one here is called the divisor. How would we write that as a fraction? Well, we would write it kind of like what we did up here. We would go ahead and write the word dividend divided by the divisor. So today we're going to look at writing some of our division expressions using the division symbol and writing them as a fraction. Go ahead and turn over to the next page, please. All right, so let's go ahead and look at example 3. Write an expression showing A divided by B without using the division symbol. Well, we just learned on the front page, we would write it like this, A divided by B. Write an expression for G divided by, so we're taking G and we're dividing it by the quantity, I'm going to use parentheses, of H plus 3. If I want to write it without using a division symbol, it would be written like this, G divided by H plus 3. Same thing. Write an expression for the quotient. Oh, here's that word quotient. Quotient means we're doing a division problem of the quantity. Ooh, look at this one. We have the quantity M reduced by 3. This and tells me what I'm dividing by. The quantity of M reduced by 3 and 5. How would I write that as a fraction? M minus 3 divided by 5. All right, so what we did right here, we're going to continue doing down on the rest of the page. Let me do the first one for you, and then I'm going to ask you to pause your video and see how many you can attempt. When you are done attempting, go ahead and turn the video back on, and we'll go over the answers. So we're going to write 12 divided by 4 like this, and then we're going to write it as a fraction like this. Okay, go ahead and pause your video and see if you can finish these up for me. All right, let's go and see how we did here. All right, we have here 3 divided by 5, and that should be the same as 3 divided by 5. Here we had A divided by 4, and that is the same as A over 4, A divided by 4. Quotient, oh, that just means I'm doing division. I'm doing 6 and M, which is the same as 6 over M. Now we're going to get some challenging ones. Let's see. 7 is divided by the quantity x plus y. Now I needed to put parentheses because if not, I would have done this division problem first. This is the same as 7 over x plus y. Okay, hopefully you guys are starting to understand this a little bit. Let's go on to the next one. Y divided by the quantity x minus 11. Once again, don't forget your parentheses. Otherwise, you're going to do order of operations division there first. This is the same as y over x minus 11. Okay, two more. The sum means adding, the sum of the quantity h and 3, and I have to take that quantity and I have to divide it by 4. And I'm going to put h plus 3 over 4. And our last one, quotient. Once again, that means division. We have the quantity k minus 10, and then the and is our division m, k minus 10 over m. All right, very good. Well, I want to show you a couple things in lesson 14, so if you guys can go ahead and turn your books over to lesson 14 for me. So lesson 14 just basically kind of reinforces what we've been talking about with division. We know that there's lots of ways to do division expressions. We are very familiar with this one. We kind of worked on this one just a little bit ago, and most of us know this. And then I'm going to have you learn a fourth one here. So we have here 15 divided by 3. If I would want to write that as a fraction, we learned that that is 15 divided by 3. How would I write that with the division symbol like this? Well, obviously 15 is my dividend. It goes inside the box. And divided by 3 here goes. That goes on the outside. And the last one I want you to do is the word that we learned today, and that's called quotient. And we're going to write the quotient, of 15 and 3. That and tells me what I'm dividing by. Quotient. Okay, now that I've showed you one, I'm going to see if you can fill in this next one. If we would move down here, and let's say I would give you this. Would you go ahead and write the words, the quotient? And I'm going to say of the dividend. And the divisor. This time you're going to use words dividend and divisor instead of the numbers 15 and 3. See if you can fill those 3 boxes in for me. Pause your video, and then as soon as you're done, turn it back on, and you will see the answers. All right, so look and see how we did. We had the dividend, can't see my division symbol, divided by the divisor, dividend divided by the divisor, and finally the dividend divided by the divisor. All right, let's go ahead and turn our book over one more time. All right, we're not going to obviously do all of these boxes, but I am going to have you do 2. So for example, I'm going to give you here 5 divided by 3, and I'm going to see if you can fill in those boxes for me. And then over here, I'm going to give you, let's do over here. Let's do W divided by 23. Or 23 divided by W. Oh boy, come on, Mrs. Huck. So I want you just to do these 2 boxes. And then when you think you have it accomplished, go ahead and turn the video back on so you can see your answers. All right, so let's see. Here we go. We had 5 divided by 3, 5 divided by 3, 5 divided by 3. The quotient of 5 and 3. Don't forget your word and. Over here, we have 23 divided by W, 23 divided by W, 23 divided by W. And of course, you can see Mrs. Houck's little mistake here, so I had to white it out. This should say the quotient of 23 and W. Okay, well, like I said, this is our crash course on expressions. Tomorrow we will kind of do a little review of all of them.